Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Afefe with Touch by Tarot and Beyond, and I am an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. If you're new here, I am also a former newspaper reporter as well as an initiated priestess in the Yoruba tradition, in the pagan tradition, high priestess. So I kind of, I'm really comfortable with a foot in both worlds, in the practical, get the facts, try to get it right world, and also very much so in the spiritual world. I also do, if you're new to the channel, I do spiritual growth and new moon and full moon readings every month. So this Friday we have a new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio season is upon us. And I will have a video up, a pick a card reading. You all love those. Pick a card reading up in time for that on Friday. Today, you all, I want to take a look at what's up with these ballot boxes burning, being set fire yesterday in Portland and Vancouver, Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington. When I woke up this morning and I was thinking about that and reading about it, remember at this rally on Sunday, the Madison Square Garden rally, remember Trump called out Mike Johnson and said he's going to have a really long future ahead of him, right? But we'll deal with, Spirit says otherwise. But we'll deal with that later. Here's the thing. I'm wondering, is there a connection? Because remember, this little secret that Trump and Mike Johnson have been he-ing about between each other and playing coy, and the media of course has been all over it. Like, what little secret? What are you cooking up? God only knows. I'm wondering if there's some connection, because Trump always tells on himself. And for him to say that Mike Johnson has a really long and promising future, well, that's only if he can remain Speaker of the House. In order for him to remain Speaker of the House needs to stay Republican GOP led, right? Majority seats, right? It's not looking that way. I want to go to Spirit and see if that's what this secret is in terms of, because the one comment that I did read, a quote from Mike Johnson when he was asked about what is this secret between you and Trump, he said, well, basically it's just a get out the vote strategy that we've hatched, and that's all I'm going to say. It's a get out the vote strategy. Now, why set fire to ballot boxes in, you can almost see it in swing states. You'd almost expect it in swing states. Funky's going to go down. But why in states like that where there are contested congressional races, right? Where there are contested congressional races. So I'm asking if that in fact is what is going on. If the MAGA movement now is under orders to target states where the congressional races are tight, because the idea, of course, is to try and keep Mike Johnson in power, who has said in so many words he wouldn't have ace. If you've been with me before, read with me before, when I see my aces, that's Spirit, my guide, saying I'm on track, or we're on track. All right, ace of air there. So yes, these are, I feel confident with that. I'll put down some more cards, a few more cards. But it feels very strongly, you all, like part of this so-called get out the vote plan, and the Three of Wands, yes, putting people in motion, utilizing behind the scenes folk who have said they don't care about going to jail, even if it means doing the bidding of some of the higher ups in the MAGA movement. It's a rough time, you all, but we're going to get through it. But this does feel like there's something that's gone through the chain of command that said, okay, if this is our guy, Trump wants Johnson to be in power, because if it goes down the way he wants it to try and make it go down, to challenge the election, we know he's going to do that. To challenge the election, he wants Mike Johnson in place to try and destabilize things. And basically, if he could get Mike Johnson to a point where they'd have to do a state vote, and just say the electoral college is broken, state vote, get it done that way. That's his plan. Desperation. The Witch of Cups, or this is the Witch's deck. The Witch's Wisdom, somebody's going to ask. The Witch's Wisdom deck. This is basically the Queen of Cups. You know, this almost feels like someone within their organization, female, is working to put people on the ground to handle this by any means necessary. For entertainment purposes only, I have to say that. And I'm not sure who that is, but it just feels like, and I don't know enough about the congressional races in those two states. Maybe some of you who are in those states or know of those races, please feel free to comment. Specifically Oregon and Washington and other states where there are contested congressional races. That's part of it. And there's a movement to, got it, thank you, Spirit. With all of this toxic bro culture stuff that's brewing around Donald Trump and by extension Mike Johnson, any of these races where there are women involved, those are races that are definitely being targeted. All right. Now, we know that the Department of Homeland Security tipped off the feds. Biden administration knew about this. They put the word out and said, you all need to be careful about this. Fortunately, I think for Washington, they had already put some fire retardants inside of their ballot boxes, so those ballots were not destroyed, but they're working on it. They've already put it out to voters. If you voted at this location, you can come and you can vote again. So it's not going to stop anything, but I'm wondering, Spirit, is the Biden administration going to put out additional security around ballot boxes? 10 of Cups, that feels good, like an outpouring of security, cameras, anything that can make these places, and the Fool. And so that's new, a new effort to cover those bases, because they want more than anything, the Biden administration and certainly by extension Kamala Harris, etc. There has to be complete confidence in the way that this election goes, and then for them to be able to show and demonstrate at every level, whether it's at the ballot booth, at the booth, the voting booth, at the county levels, at the churches, wherever people are going, and the post office, the ballot boxes. They're making sure that there can be no question that they've done everything they can to protect the integrity of the election. So yes, Biden administration is on it. Four of Swords feels like they're not quite sure, how do you continue to allow access to a gazillion ballot boxes around the country and secure them? Like, how do you functionally make sure that either through security, physical means, having somebody stand next to or sit near those boxes and make sure they're not tampered with, especially during off hours, overnight. Spirit just said that would be a major time. But the bottom line is, yes, and the goddess of water, they call it, but that would be equivalent to the King of Cups, Joe Biden. Yes, we can take a deep breath, even if, on the off chance, even if there are additional attempts to do this, what we're going to see are state and local elections offices. They're going to use that fire retardant method as well, and there will be additional security that's going to go out. So that is not, yes, I got the world. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you. I got the world. So we're on point there. So that, don't worry, that's not going to turn into something that ultimately is effective in deterring voting and getting the votes counted. It's going to be a delay. We've already seen that. Spirit has already said, we got to get through a week from today, get through the election, and then the slog begins, right? The slog through the rest of November into December, getting the states to certify their votes. Like, that's a whole thing. We'll be looking more into that as we get the election returns. But at the end of the day, people should still be confident in their ability to utilize ballot boxes. There's going to be, now that this has happened, there's going to be like triple the alerts on it. All right. The other thing I wanted to take a look at is Mike Johnson is out, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards, but everything in my spirit is saying Mike Johnson. The Senate races, I've been so hesitant to go in on some of the individual races, and I know I need to, and I will. You all, please feel free to drop me a comment in your particular states for your races, and I'm going to take a look at some of them. I have talked about Allred and Cruz in Texas, also Brooks and Hogan in Maryland. I know there's some other ones. Tammy Baldwin up against this dodo head in Wisconsin. That's just going to be that might be a little bit of a razor's edge, but I'm hoping that the Dems can pull it out. But Congress, the congressional races, the House, not Congress, the House, yeah, I'm feeling like the Democratic Party is going to take over, and we will have a Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker of the House. So let me ask it that way. That'd be our quickest route to knowing whether we're going to get it. Will Hakeem Jeffries be Speaker of the House in 2025? Will Hakeem Jeffries be Speaker of the House in 2025? We have the Mother of Pentacles. That feels like Kamala Harris. And or maybe, I know she's persona non grata these days, but even a little bit of Nancy Pelosi with the Three of Cups, celebration. I like it. Will Hakeem Jeffries be Speaker of the House? Yeah. And Ace of Fire. Done. Y'all know me and my aces. If you've been with me before, my aces are yes. All right. So yes, Hakeem Jeffries is going to be Speaker of the House. The Democratic Party will take the House. We'll take the House. Senate, yeah, we're going to keep looking at that and praying on it. But we're going to get the House. So, yeah, Mike Johnson, and, whatever. You go ahead down that pothole. Liz Cheney apparently reached out to him. I saw a story about a text exchange between Liz Cheney and Mike Johnson, who apparently were pretty friendly or on good terms at a certain point. And I don't know, apparently she was trying to talk some sense into him. Like, dude, you have really hitched your entire wagon to this man who's about to go down. You might want to rethink that. And he basically told her, from what I understand, like, mind your business. I got this. So, we'll see. But I also had to wonder, Spirit, let's do it while we're here. Because I know a lot of us are like, even though we like the fact that Liz Cheney has come out and been a leader in this Republican movement toward Harris, there are also a lot of people who are like, don't trust her as far as I can see her. She's just got, too much of a far right record. She's using a lot of this to position herself to be a leader in the reborn Republican movement once Trump is out of the way. We know that. But I was wondering if, like, Spirit, was this Liz Cheney's attempt to establish herself as a leader, to pull Mike Johnson from under Six of Earth? Yep, I felt it. And the Great Mother. Yes, the Sun. They call it the Great Mother in this deck, the Sun. Liz Cheney was trying to exert some influence over Mike Johnson to basically tip him off and say, you know what? Trump is only going to be around for so long. Me and others like me are coming back into the fold, into the whole mix to try and recenter, rebirth, reestablish the Republican Party. If you want to be with us, this is what you need to distance yourself from him. He basically flipped her the bird, told her where to go. But that was her long game. She's got really interesting plans for her political future. She's done everything while on the one hand it's been useful for Kamala Harris and necessary to bring Republicans over. Liz Cheney's got a long-term plan, and I think she was trying to see if she could, exert some influence over Mike Johnson to say, listen, we're coming and you want to be on this side of it, after 2025. And Mike Johnson told her no. All right. Last thing I want to take a look at, you all, real quick. this bro culture, big tech bro culture. So Jeff Bezos, Amazon, you all know who he is. But he's taken a lot of fire because, as you know, bought the Washington Post way back in 2013. Washington Post refused to issue an endorsement. 200,000 and counting subscribers, including myself, ditched their subscriptions to the Washington Post. So they're feeling the hit. They've had resignations from some of their best and top talent, brightest talent. But Jeff Bezos has come out and said, "Oh, what are you talking about? You know, this didn't have anything to do with my relationship with Donald Trump." And meanwhile, his Blue Origin, which is his space company or whatever it is, he's trying to position it apparently to be more competitive with Elon Musk's SpaceX. We know Elon has gone dark gothic MAGA. Did you see that? Like, he's okay, keep going. Keep going. I'm about to get sidelined. Keep going. He is dark. He is dark. I'll just leave it at that. Elon Musk is dark, very much so. But Jeff Bezos is trying to, they've got this whole little thing going. Mark Zuckerberg, who had tremendous flack with Trump, all of a sudden is calling Trump a badass for after that Butler shooting, when he got up and pumped his fist and, fight. Zuckerberg, oh yeah, that was a badass move. So they've been in contact apparently. Head of Google, I don't recall his name, but the Google CEO, Tim Cook of Apple, all of these people have been bowing and kissing the ring because they want to be able to run amok. With the advances in AI, which is really interesting. You've got Elon Musk making a lot of his billions off of NASA, Department of Defense, SpaceX program. He's making incredible money off of the United States government, same government that he's vowing to go in as a part of Trump's team, his economic team, and just dismantle government. So it's so twisted, It's really, really twisted. But Jeff Bezos is coming in on the tail end of that and saying, well, I got something I want. I've got my Blue Origin. I need my contracts too. There is something here where I want to ask, let's go to Spirit and see. These billionaires, these incredibly powerful billionaires, this bro culture that Michelle Obama spoke to very clearly and powerfully in Kalamazoo Saturday when she gave her absolutely astounding speech. But this notion of men in power having power over, and not just that, but also then seeking to dismantle any guardrails that we have in America. I'm asking Kamala Harris, as the 47th president of the United States, how is this big tech bro culture going to handle her? Right away, when you get the Eight of Swords and they say healing in this deck, right? There's going to be, we didn't mean it. We were just, these were just conversations. We didn't mean to insult you with the Fool. Exactly. There's, they're going to do an about face. All of this is politically motivated with them trying to chummy up to Trump. And especially in Elon Musk's case, it was politically motivated, financially motivated, and a level of power. As someone, you're the richest guy in the world, like what other markers are there for you? What other territory is there for you to conquer? So for him, it's a lot of dark, gothic, twisted ego stuff going on. The Eight of Pentacles, exactly. They don't want to lose money. They don't want their companies to go under. And Eight of Pentacles is a card of mastery. It's a card of skill set. It's a card of having put a lot of work into what you've done. And so they're going to be doing some major backtracking with Kamala Harris, with her administration, and whoever her economic advisors are. Woo! You talk about some phone calls being made, some requests for some meetings. The Nine of Swords, they're going to be stressed out because one of the things the Biden administration has done, and I wonder if Kamala Harris is going to continue some aspect of that, is to have guardrails in place, is to have mechanisms in place to keep these high-tech companies, especially now on the woo-woo tip, we know Pluto's going into Aquarius. So we've already been told by many master astrologers, expect incredible shifts in technology, in AI. We already see it happening. So you've got, on the one hand, these big tech bros who have set their sights on running amok. We don't want regulation. We don't want oversight. You've got a Biden administration that says, but we must do this. We need to do this for national defense, security, and other reasons. It just needs to be done. It's not about not wanting you to make money or be successful. And the Eight of Swords on the heels of the Nine of Swords. You all, these bros, these high-tech billionaire bros, are going to be scrambling and stressed out when they recognize that they put so much stock in, and they drank the Kool-Aid from Donald Trump, that they followed the lead of Elon Musk, because they could have done all this way before now in terms of coming out with all of these phone calls and support. They could have done all this before, but when they saw Elon Musk coming out, and going all in and being given all of this attention, they were like, well, wait a minute, what about us? We have the strength card. You know what, you all? Kamala Harris is going to take some recommendations. Of course, she will make her own policy, but Kamala Harris is going to take some recommendations of the economic leaders from Biden's administration and those who understand the impact of it with the Ten of Pentacles. Absolutely. The impact on the financial markets, because remember her economic message. So on the one hand, she doesn't want to hurt the entities that these billionaires run, because they do furnish jobs. They are a large part of the American economic fabric, but there is something there where she's going to enact the policies and procedures to make sure that they are not able to just do whatever they want. There will be regulations, there will be oversight, there will be accountability, right? Remember when Zuckerberg had to show up in front of Congress. So haven't seen the last of that. There's going to be more. And all of this bowing to Trump at this point, they're going to have to get up off their knees, dust off their pants, and say, okay, oops, we made a mistake. Let's go back over here and try and do some damage control. And at that point, Kamala's gonna do Kamala. And her administration she's gonna have the people around her who are extremely smart, who see all of this coming, who already know who did what, when, and why, what their motivation was, and just expect that they're going to handle it appropriately. And it's not about retribution. That's not it at all. I really think what's happening is, what Spirit is saying is, her approach to it, her administration's approach to this high-tech culture is going to be about saving jobs, keeping the American economy on track, but also keeping these kinds of people with their egos and their dark selves in check. All right, you all. I hope that was helpful. I will talk to you all really soon. Remember, countdown, it's going to be an interesting couple of months here going into January. So just remember to breathe. Keep your shoulders back. Lots of prayer, lots of light, lots of, I've got my little candle lit in the background here. Light your candles, say your prayers. Be careful at the polls, watch your back. We're going to get through this, all right? I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.